Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our meeting. I'm gonna sing a couple of songs right now, and everybody's welcome. Vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Fight vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart and our lives are transforming into song. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. And now, song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades from down the mountain, calling the trillions of earth with her love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make you small son a good Christian, make you small son a good Christian. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades flow down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make you small son a good Christian, make you small son a good Christian. Welcome. Hello, Marcel. Hello, Marcel. Now it's with you. Take care.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. Um, we ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place to stay during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. After the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. We would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Concaprus Americas through their Facebook, and will also be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. We have a special invitation for who wants to learn more about Spiritism. Every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East, we have an online and free class on our course Get to Know to Spiritism. The next class will be on November 11th, and the theme of this meeting will be Plurality of an Inhabited World. That what amazing topic, right? So if you are interested, join us. The registration link will be posted in the chat. We offer virtual Levi Gospel at Home. Did you know that? The Gospel at Home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the Gospel at Home study meetings. So by posting the chat, you can request it. Please let us know. You are welcome to include your or someone else's names on the list of positive vibration for incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by the good Spiritist to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. Please find the link in our chat. The topic of today's meeting is Do Not Believe All Spiritists. From chapter 21, there will be false Christs and false prophets. Items 6 to 8, which will be facilitated by our brother Lucas from London, Ontario. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions. And we will address the questions at the end of the talk. And now, we would like to invite our tonight's speaker, Lucas. Welcome.
Welcome, Marceli. Thank you so much once again for this
How are you
invitation.
today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very happy to have you here with us
Yeah,
tonight.
me too. I'm happy to be here. Happy to
And
see you.
by the way, I like your new hair.
Oh, thank you. Had to
Okay,
change
I'll
it.
see you later. Can you do our prayer as well?
Of course, with pleasure.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
so let's start, shall we?
See you later.
Okay. Yeah, tonight I would like to invite you all to close your eyes. Let's forget about our problems, leave everything bad outside. Let's think of Jesus, our Master and Brother Jesus, who is always with us when we gather in his name. Let's think about all Jesus heralds, all the good spirits surrounding us. They are always guiding our lives, inspiring us. Let's ask for their protection, for for all the fraternities that are always with us fighting for a better world, that are always with us learning, trying with us to be better persons, trying to understand all the message that Jesus left us. And with all those spirits, with all those heralds of Jesus, with our beloved spiritual Mother Mary, we then ascend to our Father. We think of God, our Creator, the supreme intelligence of the universe. And we thank this Heavenly Father for all the opportunities we have, especially for the opportunity of being incarnate, to being on this planet, learning this new life, this new reincarnation. We know it's an opportunity for us to be a better person, to evolve as spiritual beings. So we appreciate that and thank you, Lord, for all you do for us, for your mercy, for your love. So be it. All right, so we start today talking about the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 21, items. I'll be talking about items 6, 7, and 10. I'll start, of course, with the first two because they are do not believe in all spirits. Okay, so I would like to start with a message from John. I believe it's chapter 1 and verse 4. It says the following: Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone into the world. So that's what John said. And what did he mean by false prophets and a lot of, spirits that are not of God? So who among us have never seen those offers? Those I bring love, I bring the loved one, or to bring money, success in just a few days, or sometimes they're even faster in 24 hours, right? We see that in a post. And we know there's a lot of people like that everywhere, right? Everywhere we go on this planet, incarnates trying to take advantage of people, maybe using the spirits or their spirituality. And just as many incarnate trying to take advantage, there are as well a lot of discarnate trying to take advantage of people, right? Why not? Because we're the same. And in fact, many of those spirits, they are instruments. Not only they're instruments, but even they encourage the indiscriminate use of these works, right? These spiritual works. So they act as prophets because they want to take advantage of people. They want us to be, I don't know, have some recognition after all. And we have already been told that the use of these practices, the use does not have a practical effect. So the effect they propose, they don't work. Of course, at least not as they should, because we know that not all spirits are serious, right? Just as not all incarnates are serious. So don't we have, for example, people that swear they are Jesus heralds on earth and who use that for personal gain? In fact, I've heard of and I've seen people that swear they are Jesus, right? Back on earth, or they're God, or there's something important spirit. Haven't we seen that before? So yeah, people are like that. They're still learning. Let's not judge them, but it's not true. It's incorrect. So they want some kind of personal gain, material or not. And we shouldn't believe in all the messages we receive from spirits, that come from spirits, because think about it. If they really knew it all, the spirits, if they had the power they promised, would they really be wasting their time trying to fix our small everyday problems instead of helping humankind? Do you think highly evolved spirits would just help a medium to bring love back instead of helping humanity? Well, on the Gospel according to Spiritism, we read the following: Do not ask Spiritism for prodigies or miracles, since it positively declares it does not perform them. So what does that mean? That means it's not because the spirit saying something, not because the spirit is saying a miracle will happen or anything will happen. It's not because they're saying that it will happen, right? Why? Because there's a law, the law of nature, the law of work, the law of progress, the laws of God's laws. And those laws, they apply to everyone, to all incarnate and discarnate. So if it applies to us, apply to those on the other side. And the Spirits book, it teaches a valuable lesson, saying that there are various classes of spirits. I don't know if you've ever read the Spirits book, but it explains the classes of spirits. And as we can understand from that book, not all of them are good or knowledgeable. On the contrary, there are still, especially in this material world we live on, there are those spirits that prefer darkness rather than light, that have every interest in combating progress, the evolution of the planet. But truth is like the sun; it dissipates even the most dense clouds. So when there's truth, there's light. And Spiritism also reveals another, I would say, far more dangerous aspect of false Christs and false prophets, which is not found here amongst incarnate man, but amongst the discarnate. So these are the deceiving, hypocritical, prideful, falsely wise spirits who, on passing from earth into their spiritual wanderings, they have adopted the venerated names as masks, as a protection under which they can hide. And why? Because they want to facilitate the acceptance of the most strange and absurd ideas. So, for example, if we hear a message saying it's from St. Paul, St. Peter, saying something that is really absurd, would it be easier for us to believe if it's, although it sounds very absurd, if it's from someone we believe it's an important, or was an important person as incarnate and now as a spirit, maybe they think it would be easier for us to accept. So we have to pay close attention to that. Now, of course, before the mediumistic relationships, messages, and knowledge, all this were understood, these spirits, they acted more conspicuously and by means of maybe of inspiration, unconscious membership, heard or spoken. And there are, of course, a considerable number of spirits who in various epochs, and above all, in recent times, they have presented themselves as many of the old prophets, as Christ, as Virgin Mary, and even as God. So as I said, I've heard, and you probably, of all of you have heard, people that are pretending or believing they're God as incarnates. Many spirits tried and did the same, or still do the same. They still pretend to be someone they're not, to bring a message that's not true. And if we stop to think about how many of us, all right, all of us here, you who are listening to me, how many of us would feel maybe more important or happier when we receive a mediumistic message? Wouldn't it be nicer if it was from a saint, right, or a highly evolved spirit? Wouldn't it be nice, for example, wouldn't we feel more important if this message we got was from, for example, Chico Xavier, Dr. Bezerra, or Andrea Louise, Joan of Arc, Gandhi, or even Jesus, of course? Like, oh, I'm receiving this important message from a highly evolved spirit, that's because I'm important. Then it would just make us feel better, right? But again, John warns us against these spirits, and what he said again was, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world." And especially now, when the world is going through this final moments of the world of trials and atonements, becoming hopefully soon a world of regeneration, many will try to stop the advancement of mankind, even if that means using the name of God or Jesus to do so. And how do we know if a spirit is from God, right? Great question. So Spiritism offers us the means of trying them when it shows us the characteristics by which we may recognize the good spirits, which are always moral and never material. So it is particularly to the manner by which the good may be distinguished from the bad that these words of Jesus may be applied. And the words are, "It is by the fruits that we know the quality of the tree. A bad tree cannot produce good fruits. Spirits are judged by the quality of their works, just as a tree is judged by its fruits." So, elaborating a bit more on what we understand, that message. I'm sorry, elaborating a little bit more on that. We understand that the message is more important than the carrier. So if a message is of good, a message of love, with no attachments to mundane things, then we should pay a closer attention to it. Okay, so the message is more important. And if it is a good message, again, just like a good tree, then if the fruit is good, the tree is going to be good. If the message is good, it's from a good spirit. And now we follow and continue with the false prophets in the spiritual world. As I said, not all spirits are prophets, not all spirits are good, and we have to be aware of that and pay attention to what we receive from the spirits and do not believe all of them. But of course, there are a lot of spirits we consider false prophets here, and of course in the spiritual world. We're focusing on the spiritual world because we know on earth there are plenty of them, right? In so many religions, including Spiritism, those who claim they're saints and they have this beautiful message when they don't, when they want to take advantage. But before we can understand what false prophets are, we need to understand what Kardec meant by prophets when that was written, when the book Gospel According to Spiritism was written. So, long time ago, of course, Jesus' time, the Jewish people at Jesus' time had in their traditions the idea of the prophets, who were those who possessed some sort of paranormality, or those as we today know as mediums, right? So in the ancient Judea, the prophets, they were similar to those known in Greece, in the ancient Greek, as pythons or pythonese. That is, those who dialogued with spirits, mediums, right? And just like in the present time, not all spirits are good. They are aware of their situation and usually not aware of the relevance of their messages. So if the spirits are not and the mediums are not, then that's a problem, because somebody has to be aware, right? And in the same way, as I said, many mediums are unaware, or sometimes they ignore the importance that their actions or their words carry. On the other side of the life, of course, spirits, they still believe that everything they see is true. It's the purest truth, when we know it's not, because it could be out of ignorance, lack of knowledge, experience, or even vanity or pride. And so these prophets, on the other side, they can and they do transmit messages that are not always consistent with the divine truth. It only represents what they see. Okay, now on our side here, on earth, this material world, we have opportunities to educate ourselves and also work on mediumship seriously in serious institutions. And that's not only, of course, the Spiritist institutions, since we know that mediumship is a gift that is awarded to people of all religions, right? There are people everywhere, not even people that are not religious, they don't believe in anything, they could be mediums. But through books or help of people that know about it, a religion, as I mentioned, we could learn more and work that mediumship. And no one should take a material advantage or charge, for example, for what we freely receive. Because I don't know if you remember, but this is probably one of the next chapters of the gospel according to Spiritism, I think 26. Jesus told us to give freely what we received freely. So we are going to pay incarnate or discarnate for what we are unjustly charging. So if we're taking advantage of this gift God gave us, mediumship, we're going to pay for that. And it's not because we are mediums or because we're talking to spirits, we know more than anyone else, or the spirit knows better. In our lives, we receive signs everywhere we go. Signs, signals, documents, messages, pamphlets, right? We read things, we see things, we write things. Should we believe in everything we see, we hear, or we read? Do you believe in everything you see, everything you read, everything you hear from someone? So should we believe in a message from an incarnate people, even though it's this person is close to us, even though it's somebody we know that we trust? Should we? Because does that mean that everything they say or they believe is true? No, of course not. Of course not. Because that could be their truth. That could be all they know. And that could be incorrect, of course. Now, should we believe in someone just because then they are no longer in a physical body, just because they're a spirit? We know that when we discarnate, we only take with us what we are, what we know, what we knew, right? We don't become better or wiser. Titles, names, they're gone. We don't carry those. So the gospel according to Spiritism, it also says there is a message for us to repel. Let me open it up here. The message is repel all those spirits who present themselves as exclusive counselors, preaching separation and isolation. They're almost always vain and mediocre spirits who seek to impose and dictate to weak and credulous persons by lavishing exaggerated praise upon them, with the aim of fascinating and dominating them. These are generally spirits eager for power, who having been despots both publicly or in their own homes, still continue to look for victims to tyrannize, even after death. In general, mistrust all communications which have a mystical and singular character, or those who prescribe eccentric acts and ceremonies. In all of these cases, there is always a legitimate motive for suspicion. So here, Kardec teaches again what John mentioned, not because a spirit's saying it is true, right? If we hear something weird that we don't believe, or that we have any sort of doubt, it's okay. It's okay to have doubts. It is okay to question, because that's what Spiritism teaches us, to question, right? Kardec mentioned so many times that if we doubt what he said, if science proves him wrong, he'll be fine with it, because that's what we should do. We shouldn't believe everything we hear, not even from spirits. Now, in the Medium's book, Kardec warns us that the message is more important than the messenger, and that he teaches all serious mediums must consider what he or she receives, whether it's serious, whether it changes things for the better, or if it's just something selfish and mundane. Just to sum it up, the spirit named Erastus, on the Gospel according to Spiritism as well, he says it is necessary to submit these messages to crucible of reason and logic, all the facts and communications received from spirits. So it becomes easier to reject errors and absurdities. And that makes sense with science, right? Trying, checking, confirming. And Spiritism is science as well. It's also science. So we should do that. We should try, check, and confirm. It's not, I heard it once, it's true. Now, we must know that a single medium may become fascinated, or maybe a whole group deluded. But if we use a severe verification of what's occurring with other groups around the globe, if we acquire the right knowledge within the subject matter, the analysis of all communications received by the principal mediums of each group, together with the use of logic and, of course, the verification of authenticity whenever possible. It's not always possible. Uh, of most spirit communicators, then it would be possible to render justice to all falsehood and trickery from any band of deceiving or maybe malicious spirits. So the message I wanted to stress out um, about communications from spirits, the message is God has not confined it to a narrow circle, but He has made it appear in all places so that the light shines alongside darkness. So the message is there for everyone. It's not gonna just be for one or two or three groups, but for the whole planet throughout times. And that's what I wanted to pass on to you. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. It was a pleasure doing this talk once again. God bless you all and see you next time. After you, Marceli.
Hey, thank you so much for your presentation and reflection on this lesson.
You're
This
very
is
welcome.
very interesting, right? This topic, because we see lots of things and sometimes we get confused about this, right?
It is right. Maybe out of curiosity and like, okay, now I want to be a spiritist. Now I want to believe. So I believe in everything I hear. I believe in everything that comes from spirit. And
Mm,
again, as I said, not all spirits are good, as not all of people on this planet are good, right? Sometimes they're good, but they're just wrong because they don't know better. So we
yeah,
have to be wise and pay
careful.
attention to
Yeah,
everything.
it's true. We have a couple of questions
Of
here.
course.
So the first one is from Rodrigo Arias. Other than the moral weight of his or her message, are there other ways to identify through prophets? What do you think?
Well, according to Kardec, and well, what I read at least from the mediums book, especially because it's something that he explains a lot to all mediums, that the message is more important
Mhm.
than the messenger. For example, we know that Chico Xavier, for example, was a highly evolved spirit. That everything he's done in his life was to bring good to other people, to do something good. Would it make sense? So, if we just use logic, reason, would it make sense to see Chico Xavier coming back to deliver a weird message or a message of hatred, a message of non-peace, right? So first, it wouldn't make sense because it would contradict his words. Just like, of course, Jesus,
Mhm.
Mary, any other spirit, like someone that on earth we knew as a good person, as somebody who brought a good message. Why would this evolved spirit, this good person that they were, would come back just to bring something silly,
Really?
make no sense? It doesn't. So the message is important.
Mhm.
If we can comprehend from the message that is something good, like it makes sense that Dr. Bezerra de Menezes would come back and talk about something that's affecting a country, a
Mhm.
group of people, something that can help them. But it wouldn't make sense to for a spirit like that to come back just to bring a message for a group of people to take advantage of that. It
Yeah.
makes no sense. There's no logic. So the message is important. The names, not so much, because they
Mm,
don't need that anymore. They don't need the recognition. A spirit
yes.
like that don't need any recognition anymore. So even if it's their message, but given by another spirit, they don't mind. The important is whoever needs
Mhm.
that message will receive it.
They are
And
in another stage, right? They don't need
yes,
this
another stage
recognition.
of spiritual evolution. They don't need that
Yeah.
anymore. So why would they
And
care? Do you think they would be worried about, oh, needs to find a job. Let me send him a message so he can find a better job. No, definitely not.
yeah, and we can see in the gospel according to Spiritism, lots of message like from the friend spirits, right? So with no name, right? So because
Yeah,
of
because
the
yeah,
messages they want, they think that it matters.
yeah.
Um, I did one question, but it's very similar to Rodrigo. So I think you answered already. So how does Spiritism teach us to recognize if the spirit is not from God? But you just said.
Yeah,
Mhm.
things we can do, study, because Kardec said, in Spiritist, instruct yourselves, love
Mhm.
yourselves. And then the
Yes.
second commandment was instruct yourselves. So we
Yes.
can read a lot of books, they do help. We can talk to people that are seriously committed to mediumship, Spiritism, or even God's message. Doesn't need to be a
Mhm.
Spiritist message. But if it's something good and the message is committed to that, then that can help us recognize. If we
Mhm.
don't know, let's ask. That's what we should do. We should always ask and never accept
Mhm.
something as the final truth. Also, because truth sometimes is relative and it's always changing. Humanity,
Mhm.
we are changing, evolving. So something that may be true for all of us right now
Mhm.
might not be 30 years from now. So
Yeah.
that's the question and
True. And
reflect.
the last question from Rodrigo, it's beyond Kardec's Pentateuch. Do you recommend any other book about this topic?
Well, of course, if you read the Bible, of course, the God, all the Kardec's works, all of, I mean, most of spiritists literature will mention that, and of course, Chico Xavier's work, especially Andrea Luiz's series, that's that's fantastic. That's essential, and yeah, you will be amazed by what they mentioned. So
Mhm. Yes.
and there's so many. Divaldo, of course, serious mediums. You're not going to read something about someone who just started reading, and it's not that they're wrong or it's not true,
Mhm.
but they just started, and they're saying something that doesn't make sense with everything that was said before. It could be true, of course, but
Mhm.
we need to reflect and pay attention to that. Does it make sense? Should I believe just because spirit dictated that message?
Yeah.
No. Let me wait, stop, pause, think, and ask. If that continues and if it makes sense, if other people are saying it, other groups, other mediums, maybe
Mhm.
something changed and it could be true.
Yeah, especially when the Spiritism came, the events like the spiritual events were happening all around the world, right? It wasn't
Correct.
like just in one place. So I think it's related to the thing that you just said. So if the message is in lots of places in like the similar message, right? I think we
That's
can
true. Like
trust.
as I said at the end, God will bring messages to a lot of people everywhere, and then we'll
Hmm.
know if it's going to a lot of people. That's meant to be, because if it's just
Yeah,
for one person,
there is no
what's the
privilege,
point?
right?
Yeah, there's no privilege.
Okay, thank you so much. It was
Yeah, you're
so
very
great to have
welcome.
you here, and you will always be welcome here. You are part of our group.
I am. I'm really happy to be here every time you guys invite me. So let me know, of course, when you need me again. I'll be
Of
more than happy to
course.
participate. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Thank you all.
you.
Have yourself a great night.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Oh, you again. Okay, now we will move to the preparation. Actually, I want to thank you everyone for the comments and the participation in the chat. Okay, so we will now move to the preparation for our tonight's spiritual treatment. PAS is the transfusion of a spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PASs help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with health and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instruction or remain prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. We will now make a prayer in preparation for our for the past, which will be our closing prayer as well. So I invite everyone to close your eyes if you wish and feel comfortable. Elevate our thought, thanking Jesus, Master Jesus. We are here one more time to thank you for everything you have done for us. We thank you for this beautiful talk we have tonight, and we ask your help so we can identify if the spirit is from it comes from you. So help us do not believe in all spirits, and we ask you to and Mother Mary to help us to be a better person. May we follow your steps and evolve ourselves. May your simple and humble spiritism inspire us to love one another and help our neighbor wherever we go. We ask you and the good spirits to protect all the names in the vibration list, people who are struggling, suffering, people who are in place that there is war in this moment. So may your love and your peace be spread all of the world. We ask your protection for this week. Bless our family, our friends, and may we have a good sleep as well. Once again, thank you, and we ask you and the good spirits to stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the pass. Thank you, God.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Conference Americas through there at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. And please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from the Spiritism Canada and the Spiritism group Path of the Light. Have a good night.
Thank you. by God.